Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're watching this, chances are you're looking for a way to create financial freedom, break out of your 9 to 5, or finally build something of your own. Maybe you've heard people talk about Amazon FBA. Maybe you've even tried it yourself and got stuck. Or maybe you're brand new and wondering if it's still possible to make real money selling on Amazon in 2025. Well, let me be the first to tell you, yes, it's still possible, and no, it's not too late. In fact, the opportunity is bigger than ever. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I went from zero to building an Amazon FBA business that now makes over $100,000 per month in revenue. I'll walk you through the full journey, what I did right, what I messed up, how much money I started with, and how you can follow the same path, even if you're starting with limited capital, no experience, and zero followers. Now, full transparency, I didn't get here overnight. It took me over a year to build this to six figures monthly. I made mistakes, I lost money on my first product, I even thought about quitting halfway through, but I didn't. I kept learning, kept testing, and I adapted. And that's the key. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. So let's rewind to where it all began. I was working a job I didn't like, making enough to get by, but not enough to live the life I wanted. I started watching YouTube videos like this one and got obsessed with the idea of selling online. FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, was appealing because Amazon would handle all the logistics for me. No need for a warehouse, no customer support headaches, no complicated shipping. Just find a product, ship it to Amazon, and they take care of the rest. That's powerful. But I wasn't going to jump in blind. I gave myself 30 days to learn everything I could. Find a product that people are searching for but that isn't saturated with big competitors, something with high demand and low competition. After about 2 weeks of research, I found a gap. It was a niche kitchen product, nothing flashy, but it sold steadily year round, had poor listings on Amazon, and the top sellers didn't even have videos or branded packaging. That was my chance. I dug deeper and verified demand using Helium 10, over 8,000 searches per month, but most listings had under 100 reviews. That's gold. I contacted over a dozen suppliers on Alibaba. Some never replied, some had high minimum orders. But one stood out. They were flexible, professional, and willing to do a small run. I negotiated 300 units at 420 each, including logo printing and packaging. Total cost with shipping around 500. That was most of my savings, but I knew I had to try. Now came the important part, branding. I wasn't just going to throw a generic item on Amazon. I designed a logo, wrote my own packaging copy, and hired someone on Fiverr for a clean minimal design. Then I sent it all to the supplier. While they prepared the shipment, I focused on building the listing. I spent days crafting optimized bullet points, a compelling title, and a benefit driven product description. I pulled keywords from Helium 10 to make sure I showed up in search. I also paid a local photographer to shoot professional images, lifestyle shots, infographics, and close ups. Yes, I spent more than I wanted, but that's what made me stand out when I launched. Launch day finally came. I priced my product at $24.99, slightly lower than competitors, but not too low to look cheap. I ran an automatic Amazon PPC campaign with a $15 daily budget. The first day I got one sale, then two the next. By day 5, I had 10 reviews and was selling 6 to 8 units a day. What I learned quickly was this: Amazon rewards momentum, every sale helps boost your rank, and reviews are everything. So I made sure every customer got a follow up message through Amazon's messaging system, thanking them and kindly asking for feedback. About 1 in 7 buyers left a review, and they were positive. Within 3 weeks, I had sold out of inventory. That felt amazing, but also terrifying. I didn't have enough cash to reorder a huge batch, and I didn't want to lose my ranking. So I reached out to the same supplier and negotiated 600 more units with slightly better pricing and faster turnaround. This time I was ready. With my second order on the way, I was no longer just dabbling. I was officially in the Amazon FBA game, and this is where things got real. I wasn't just trying to sell a few items anymore, I was building a brand. That word, brand, completely shifted how I approached everything. Instead of thinking like a seller, I started thinking like a business owner. That small mental shift changed everything. While I waited for the second shipment to arrive, I reinvested nearly all of my profits into improving the brand. I registered for a trademark so I could eventually apply for Amazon brand registry. I also built a simple Shopify landing page for my brand using a $29 month template. Nothing fancy, just a place where customers could go outside of Amazon to learn more about the product and eventually join an email list. Once the second batch arrived at the Amazon warehouse, it sold even faster than the first. I had built momentum, had more reviews, and was starting to rank on page 1 for two of my top keywords. My PPC campaigns were getting smarter too. I began shifting budget from automatic to manual campaigns, targeting the best converting keywords and reducing wasted ad spend. Within 30 days, I was doing over $12,000 a month in revenue. That blew my mind. But I didn't stop there. I started studying my competitors more closely. What were they doing that I wasn't? What were customers complaining about in their reviews? I noticed people kept asking for a version of the product with a handle and more durable material. So I messaged my supplier and asked if they could make a custom version. After 2 rounds of sampling, we had a winner. It looked better, worked better, and gave me something my competition didn't have, a unique product. I raised the price to $29.99 for the new version while keeping the original listing live at $24.99. Now I had two SKUs generating daily sales. My total monthly revenue jumped to $18,000 and net profit was around 32% after Amazon fees, shipping, ads, and product cost. That means I was pocketing around 5,700 a month, and it had only been 4 months since I launched my first product. From here, I knew I needed to scale smartly. I wasn't going to launch random products. I wanted to stay within the same niche and build out a product line that made sense. So I researched complementary products using Helium 10's black box tool, looking for items that shared the same customer base. I found two strong options, contacted the same supplier, and bundled them into one upgraded offer. This new bundle helped me stand out even more and gave me a reason to charge a premium price. Around month 6, I finally got approved for brand registry. That unlocked so many features: A plus content, which lets you create beautiful product descriptions, brand analytics, and even sponsored brand ads. I immediately upgraded my listings with comparison charts, videos, and more compelling visuals. Sales went up, conversion rates increased, the brand started to feel legit. But here's what really took things to the next level: outsourcing and systems. Until this point, I had done everything myself, from talking to suppliers to writing copy to managing PPC campaigns. That was fine when I had one or two products, but if I wanted to hit serious numbers, I needed help. So I hired a part time VA, virtual assistant from the Philippines at $5 an hour to help me with customer service, order tracking, and basic admin work. I also found a PPC specialist on Upwork to manage and optimize my campaigns weekly. These hires gave me back at least 15 hours a week, time I now use to focus on strategy and growth. I also started using inventory management software to avoid running out of stock again, which had cost me ranking earlier. With better forecasting, I could place larger orders with better pricing terms, and my profit margins improved. By the end of month 8, I had 4 active products, 2 team members helping me part time, and a system that ran fairly smoothly. Revenue passed $32,000 month with profits around $10,000. That was more than I was making at my day job, and yes, I quit. Quitting wasn't easy. I had comfort, routine, and a paycheck, but I also had a dream, and now I had proof that it was working. I gave my boss 2 weeks' notice, walked out of that office, and never looked back. From that moment forward, Amazon FBA wasn't a side hustle, it was my full time business. Once I went full time, I had the mental space and energy to double down. I wasn't clocking in 9 hours a day somewhere else. I could now wake up every morning and focus 100% on growing my brand. And let me tell you, that focus changed everything. I set a new goal: $100,000 a month in revenue, not someday, within the next 12 months. I broke that goal down into concrete steps. If my average product sold for $30 and my net profit was around 30%, I'd need to sell roughly 300 units a month, or about 110 units a day. That meant launching more products, optimizing my current listings even further, and improving my backend systems. I started building a product pipeline, a spreadsheet of potential product ideas with research data, search volume, estimated competition, price points, profit margins, and differentiation opportunities. I aim to launch one new product every 60 days, keeping quality high but moving fast. For every new product, I follow the same framework. 1. Validate demand with Helium 10 and keep a do. Contact 10 to 15 suppliers with clear RFQs, request for quotes. 3. Order samples and test them myself. 4. Optimize the listing before launch: photos, infographics, bullet points, SEO. 5. Launch with PPC, some influencer seeding, and a small discount strategy. But I also made two key investments that truly accelerated growth. First, I started working with micro influencers. I reached out to people on TikTok and Instagram in the home, kitchen space, people with 5K to 50K followers, and send them free product in exchange for content. Most of them didn't charge at all, and the content was way more authentic than polished ads. One 15-second TikTok from a mom influencer got over 120,000 views and spiked my sales for 3 straight days. That's when I knew the power of UGC, user generated content. Second, I finally paid for professional branding. A graphic designer created a proper logo, color palette, packaging design, and typography system. This wasn't just about looking nice, it built trust. My brand now looked like it belonged on a Target shelf. I even updated my Amazon storefront to match the branding, and conversion rates improved. At this point, I was doing between 50,000 and 70,000 a month in revenue depending on the season. But what pushed me past the 100,000 month milestone was a bundle product that went viral. It was a combo of my top selling kitchen tool plus a new accessory I'd been testing. I listed it as an Amazon exclusive, added some urgency in the copy, and pushed it hard through PPC and email. Boom, it took off. In 3 weeks, it became 40% of my monthly sales. That one bundle alone made over $38,000 in 1 month and helped me cross six figures in revenue. I'll never forget seeing the 100K line in my Amazon dashboard. It felt surreal. Not because of the number, but because of what it represented: freedom, proof, and purpose. Let me be 100% honest, this journey wasn't perfect. I had listings suspended, shipments delayed, a few bad batches from suppliers, and ad campaigns that lost money. I also made the mistake early on of not properly tracking inventory, which led to one of my best sellers being out of stock for nearly 3 weeks. That cost me thousands, but I learned. Every mistake became a lesson, and every setback forced me to build smarter. So, what would I do differently if I were starting over today in 2025? 1. Start with a clear budget and stick to it. You don't need 20K. I started with less than 3K, but you do need discipline. 2. Invest in product research more than anything else. A great product practically sells itself. A bad one is impossible to save, no matter how much you spend on ads. 3. Build your brand from day one. Even if it's small, the name, the colors, the tone. Customers buy from people they trust, not just listings, so outsource sooner. Free your time to focus on strategy, not tasks. 5. Think long term, don't chase trends. Think about what you want your business to look like in 2 years. And above all, start now. The biggest risk is waiting. Amazon FBA is still full of opportunity, but the window won't stay open forever. If you take consistent action, test smart, and reinvest wisely, you can absolutely build a business that changes your life. I'm living proof of that. If you got value from this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk about Amazon FBA and online business. I'm sharing my entire journey, the wins and the struggles, so you don't have to figure it all out alone. And if you have questions, drop them in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.